Hey, hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of the show. I'm Joe, and my guest today. I've been waiting for this one for almost a year. Honestly, he's been running a community college in the southwest corner of the southwest of the planet, right, for
Yeah.
10 years. And I want you to hold two numbers in your head right now before we jump in. Number one, the national confidence in higher education has dropped from 57% to 36% in the last decade. Okay. That's the yuck. I'm going to give you some yum now. Number two, the Arizona Western College in Yuma, 9 out of 10 students say that they're confident in the college. 87% say they'd enroll again. That doesn't happen by accident. And the man that has helped to reshape that culture is with us today, Dr. Daniel Corr. Thank you for joining us on the show, amigo.
Hey, happy to be here, Dr. Joe. I've been looking forward to it for a year too. So yeah, let's jump into it. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, the sector is in a free fall. I mean, you know that. You've got colleagues across the United States that are, just duking it out like everybody else. And there you are. You're sitting in Yuma, Arizona. I've driven through. I've probably stopped to fill up for gas there because you kind of have to if
Yeah, a
you're going to
little
make it.
cheaper than California if you're heading
Right. If
that
you're
way.
going so you got about 63% Hispanic student body, 70% first gen. You're a border community, ag ag economy, uh,
Yeah.
and you just set a record of almost 14,000 students.
Yeah.
What the, as they say.
Yeah. So we are a thriving community. One last fun fact about Yuma, Joe, sunniest place on earth. All your listeners, go ahead and Google that right now. Sunniest place on earth, Yuma,
And who
Arizona.
wouldn't want to live and learn in the sunniest place on earth? I'm telling you,
Absolutely.
folks.
Well, so yeah, we are absolutely killing it. We're fastest growing community college in the state of Arizona. Whether you measure that by 3, 5, or 10 years, we've had this sustained period of growth due to a couple of things. We've really changed the way we handle or look at dual enrollment and opened up those opportunities. And then we completely revamped our delivery of CTE, created kind of a semi-autonomous wing of the college, the entrepreneurial college. Broke a lot of the traditions and processes of higher ed to allow them to be more nimble. Both have been just amazing success. So this year, we've had the largest enrollment ever in the 63-year history of the college. And 2 weeks from now, we'll have a graduation where we will award more credentials than we've ever awarded in the 63-year history of the college. So, a lot of great things going on in Yuma. And yeah, the sun is shining today.
Deep and wide, 10 years in Yuma. You started your career across multiple community colleges. You worked 9 years in Scottsdale and
Yeah.
go artichokes, huh?
Yeah. The fighting
For real?
chokes.
Yeah. Which by every metric, I think is probably one of the most or well-resourced community colleges in Arizona. You can argue that, but then you
Yeah.
went southwest, like southwest of southwest, not up south. You went to Yuma. What happened in your decision-making process? Because you had a pretty good gig there.
Oh, I had an
Maybe the
amazing gig.
outsiders, yeah, the outsiders would not understand your decision-making process.
Yeah, and, Scottsdale was a great 9 years, great institution, loved being part of the Maricopa system, a wealth of resources, all the great stuff. But Yuma and La Paz County, just love these communities. This community, the communities we serve, absolutely love the college. Absolutely love the college. Look to the college to be part of their everyday life.
Mm,
Look to the college to help them escape poverty. And make no mistake, a lot of our students are profoundly impacted by poverty.
yeah,
Listen, Yuma, we're the underdogs here, but we punch way above our weight.
I
It's a
love it.
wonderful community, and we're 20 minutes from the border. My wife was born in Mexico. I love the fact that we live in this amazing border community. So it's been a great run. It's been a great 10 years. I wouldn't trade a day of it for anything. Loved it.
We're punching above our weight class. Arizona Office of the Auditor General data shows that AWC was the only community college in the state to show enrollment growth over a 5-year stretch when
Yeah.
every other institution in Arizona was actually contracting. right? You're growing in the border community. 70% of your students are like never done this before, right?
Yep.
When you look at what most community colleges are doing in response to just the enrollment pressure, it's a whole different game today. What do you see most doing wrong that you are doing more right?
Yeah, so, one thing we did, Joe, is we took control of the schedule, meaning we had this wildly decentralized schedule where there were dozens of division chairs and faculty leads and all trying to create a schedule that was data driven and student centric. Well, we ended up with the schedule that always wasn't data driven nor student centric. So
Mhm.
we have a single scheduler who creates a schedule based on enrollment trends and student needs, and we determine what's going to be taught, where it's going to be taught, and what modality is going to be taught, and then the deans decide who teaches it. It's much more student centric, and we were able to maximize our class sizes, maximize enrollment, and then I talked to a couple of things already. We changed the way we took a look at dual enrollment. We allow high school instructors who are fully credentialed and 3 years in the discipline to teach 100 level courses, completely approved by the Higher Learning Commission. We're the only institution in the state of Arizona that does that. And we've had an explosive growth. And that opens up the college going culture. Because again, 70% are
Yeah.
first gen. So they get a taste of college in high school, 6, 9, 12, 15, 28, 24 credit hours. And guess where they're coming after high school?
There we
Arizona
go.
Western College. We
Why
have the
why wouldn't
highest
he?
yield in the state of Arizona. The yield is defined as the percentage of students who attend the community college within 1 year of graduation. We're 16 points ahead of the one in second. So it's just a pipe. It's not a transition. It's not a
No,
decision.
it's a
It's just
pipeline.
the next logical step.
Yep. Yep. Oh, but you are a troublemaker for good. I mean, that you would come in and create a single scheduling. I mean, that you probably had to give up body parts in order to make that
Oh,
happen, right? And
not everyone saluted, Joe. Not
right,
everyone saluted.
and then to allow the outsiders to come in and actually teach your courses. I'm surprised. Is it Elton John that sang the song "I'm Still Standing"?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Dude,
let me
sup,
talk about
dude?
that, Joe.
Dude, sup?
I've been here 10 years. My board chair was the board chair that hired me.
Wow.
3 of the 5 board members were on the board when I was hired. One just passed last year, but for the first 9 years, 4 out of 5 board members were consistent through the whole decade. Um, they have my back. They know I will never do them wrong. I'll keep in close communication. A stable, supportive board has absolutely been the key to what we've done here. An amazing team around me, obviously,
Right.
but yeah,
Oh, how important that is. I would say probably causal. Like if
yeah,
you were to research that, it would not have happened unless you had that sturdy of a foundation. You've also said publicly that we are a college of the community. I had to
yeah.
read that a couple of times. I mean, not a college serving in the community, but of it. What's the deal there? What's the difference?
Yeah, so we're all community colleges, and but are you a college of the community? If there's a problem to be solved, you need to be at the center of that, and it's ways big and small, right? We have a beautiful conference center here. That doesn't belong to the college. That belongs to the community. You're a nonprofit. You want to use that center? Come on in, schedule it, get in there, have your meeting, have your board meeting. Bring your youth group here. The library is open to the public, right? You can come check out a book if you're in 8th grade. You don't have to be a student here. That library belongs to you. 60 some percent of our revenue comes from local property taxes. So I want everyone in this community, whether they're attending classes here or not, to feel as though this institution represents them, is here for them. So again, it's ways large and small. We're not going to charge you $5 to come in and watch a basketball game. You want to come watch the Matadors whip up on the rest of the state? Come on in.
Love it.
We'd love to have you. So it's and when COVID hit, we had to be the center of that, right?
Mm,
We were the vaccine center. We were the testing center. We were blowing out all our medical supplies to local healthcare providers. Why? Because that's what we're here for. So it's a different view that says, "Hey, community, come ask us for something," as opposed to, "We're here. What do you want? We got it for you."
wow. You're not only growing enrollment, but you're structurally rebuilding a college. You've created the Arizona Western Entrepreneurial College as a second pillar. It's not a program. It's not an initiative, right?
No,
It's a second formal pillar, right? With its own CEO who is now transitioning to
yeah,
your office, Dr. Ritika. I don't think you could have picked a better leader to advance on top of what you've
for
been
sure.
creating. But that's radical institutional surgery. You had to go in there and actually be the disruptor, right? To
Yeah.
and so talk to me about what you had to sacrifice. What did AWC have to sacrifice? What did you have to break to make room for something that big?
Yeah. Joe, I promise I'll be super quick. So, about 4 years ago, we got a call from the governor's office and said, we've got a bucket of money here that we'd like to give you if you could create a fiber optics training program for installation of high speed fiber optic in the area. The only answer to that is yes, we want that money and we'll do it. And guess what happened? Our own system got in the way. We went to curriculum council, and curriculum
Mm,
council said, "Well, we're going to need a second reading of that, and we might need an English class." And by the way, the governor said this has to happen like now. So I overrode the curriculum council and I said, curriculum approved. Go do it. And then I went to purchasing. And as part of the curriculum was a little kit with like 8 tools in there. And our purchasing department said, you know what? I'd like to see each of those 8 tools priced out separately to make sure we're getting the best deal. And I said, that's crazy. We're not doing that. Purchase approved. And then we got to trying to hire an adjunct to teach the darn thing and realized that we weren't paying anywhere near market rate. And I said, you know what? Double the market rate and hire that guy. We
wow.
need these classes. So you know what, Joe? Everyone was doing their job as they understood their job to be. There was no malice. Our system was set up that way.
Mm, mhm.
And that was the origin of the entrepreneurial college. I said, well, we just broke all those rules. Check with the auditors. Did we do anything illegal? No. You can do that. Those are your own rules that you set up. So we created a semi-autonomous, nimble second pillar
Right.
that is super responsive to business and industry. We can charge different tuition because the board has to approve all tuition previously. But I went to the board and said, hey, if a market rate for this is not our $95 a credit hour, but it's 5x that, and I need that to pay this instructor 3x, but everyone gets trained and industry is happy. Do I have your permission to do that? Board resolution 50? Absolutely. Dr. Corr, run with that. So we had systems that we created that hindered our ability to be nimble and effective and responsive. So I just blew them up and asked Dr. Ratika Dewan, who's the most innovative, amazing person I know, can you run this? And it's taken off.
Hey, friends, quick question before we get back to it. I know that you have talented people on your leadership team, but is your team actually performing to its full potential? Most aren't, and most don't know why. The Team Intelligence Assessment is a solution to change that. Find out where your team stands at higherperformancegroup.com. Go to find your starting point to get started today, or click the QR code in the screen right here. All right, back to the show. So, walk me through, and congratulations just for standing up and being a leader. Okay. And that stuff in the middle of leadership, it's never fun. It's right?
Yeah,
That's the onomatopoeia of
right.
but it's not for everybody. I have rarely heard stories where a president is able to step into the octagon for the right reasons during the right time and put on the gloves and fight the right fight for the students that you serve. Too
Yeah,
often we have leaders that are leading from the back foot going, well, I'm going to play by all the rules on campus that were created by wounded people, right? That created a broken system. So yeah, I'm going to step down from the stump here for a moment and just
yeah.
walk me through the entrepreneurial college model. What does it look like for a Yuma worker, right? That is going through or has gone through. What's the benefit?
Yeah, it's credit, it's non-credit, it's credit for prior learning, it's accelerated, it's paid apprenticeships, it's all kinds of different. It's courses in Spanish. We're here down on the border, and we have a lot of really talented folks who don't have the luxury of time or economics to spend 2 years to get up to speed on English as a second language, to get some training in plumbing or construction. But we got construction companies banging for workers.
Right.
Um, so we've it's just a model that says everything is flexible. And what it means for employers is a pipeline of skilled workers. What it means for students is an opportunity to get from where they're at to where they want to be quickly, efficiently, productively, and begin, earning money. It's just been such an amazing experience, and we're only what 3.5 years into it.
Right.
So we're still looking at sacred cows that we want to take out back and turn into steaks. We really are.
My daughter just brought her son to California, and they went to Disneyland, and yeah, but Mickey is not allowed on that campus. There's just no Mickey Mouse. It sounds like you're just like straight ahead. This is exactly what our partners across the curb in the community have said we need to do, and we're going to do it as swiftly and as effortlessly as possible. Go Matadors, but Mickey Mouse, you're
Yeah,
not invited here. You're just
we do love Mickey, but we go over to California to see Mickey. He doesn't come
exactly.
to Yuma, no.
So be honest about some of the things you're handing off now. So what's still not working the way you'd like to? 10 years, a record enrollment, governor loves you, White House invitations. What's one thing that you're handing down to Dr. Ratika that isn't solved yet?
Oh gosh, there's so much, like even the best football team goes in on Monday morning and takes a look at that tape and takes a look at what blocks were missed, what passes were dropped, and we do that constantly. I think we've been wildly successful in terms of securing federal grants, congressional earmarks. We brought a lot of money in. Sustainability of programs becomes then a
Mm,
challenge, right? So you've got a grant for 3 years, you built this amazing program. Where does it go next? We don't always have the answer for that, and we always seem like we're a couple of ticks behind. And I do continue to believe that we need to more rapidly embrace AI. It's a reality. How do we train up our students with the effective and efficient and ethical use of it, and really across the community? This community, I absolutely love it. We are still profoundly impacted by poverty. We need to attract and retain a greater variety of businesses. We are the ag capital, winter vegetable capital of the world. So when you had lettuce this winter, that came from the Yuma Valley. But a lot of those jobs are being automated. A lot of those jobs are backbreaking. A lot of those jobs don't pay particularly well. We have to diversify this region's economy,
right.
which will lift all boats. So there's a lot of work to be done.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't a half-time job that you're handing off to her.
And we've come close, but we've not yet won our first national championship in soccer. We've gone to the finals 4 times in my tenure without a W in the final game. So there's still some work to do on the pitch.
Let's make that happen. We're going to come back and we're going to tell me what you're doing in AI, okay? Because everybody has got kind of a slant and a pursuit angle of what they're doing with AI. As somebody that is addressing it without Mickey Mouse on campus, how are you having much more of a direct line of pursuit to AI than maybe other campuses might be diddling and dawdling out there?
Yeah, so to eliminate the possibility of diddling and dawdling, our new strategic plan passed in 2025. The first tenet of it is AI for all. So it's
Wow.
not AI if you're interested, AI if you're forced. It's AI for all. Everyone in the institution is expected to be competent in the use of AI to explore how that might better serve their students and help them with their job. And then we created a center for AI. It's right in the center of our new building, glass all around it, an opportunity for the community to come in for lectures and to play with it, for faculty to learn how that can be implemented into their coursework. Um, and then we created a cadre of AI fellows,
Hmm.
10 different individuals, some students from around the institution, different departments who get a little stipend to explore AI and serve as AI champions across the community and the campus. So it's first with that understanding that AI is not optional. This is here. It's a tool. You have to know how to use it. You have to be competent, and you have to use it to improve service to students. So we're, gosh, about 12, 14 months into that. As you might imagine, it's uneven. We've got champions who are, doing amazing stuff, and others who are, being nudged from the rear. Not in the rear. We would never do that.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No, that's I love that model, and you've put it in basically, I mean, your strategic plan, probably nearly policy for you as well, so it sticks. That stuff's gonna stick. So, you're walking away in a month or 2, so June 2026, probably, your campus, is it a destination right now, or is it a launch pad for what comes next?
Yeah, Joe, I'm excited that I have an amazing opportunity to join Arizona State University, and I'll be serving as a vice provost. And in that capacity, it'll be largely my responsibility to serve as a liaison to community colleges across the nation, starting in
Wow.
Arizona. So using, gosh, 34 years of community college experience to make that transition to Arizona State University easier, collaboration on some big workforce issues. And ASU is a great fit just because of their innovation and their approach to
I
education.
can't think of a more bold approach than what you've already brought to the table. Talk about just a good DNA fit. If you can you do the thing that they do with their hands? What is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, look at that.
Forks
Look at
up.
that. Okay.
Fear the
Yeah,
fork.
there it is. There it is. Dude, you are one of the most real people I've ever bumped into, and I just appreciate how genuine and how
Ah,
authentic you are in the work. You are you. My guess is when they hired you, you haven't changed much.
no, no, and again, it's yeah, that's thank you for that, Joe. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that you gotta have some fun, you gotta have some laughs. Our cabinet meetings, I often lose control. We're cracking up, cutting up about something, and we pull it back eventually. But yeah, we have a lot of fun here. The work we do is important,
It is.
but it's also important to enjoy the people around you and be a little silly and have some fun.
Well, real
And
people.
I've been
Yeah,
allowed
real
to do that.
people. You are one of the real people, and that was a program back in the '80s that I remember watching, Real People. You're too young for that, but, uh,
I
we're
don't know
gonna
about
go into
that.
Real People episode here, so I do a lightning round at the end of every one of these interviews, and I just need to just expose how real of a person you really are. So, is there a quote that you live by?
Um, Move boldly towards your dreams.
You've done that. You've
I
done
have.
that.
I
Yeah.
try.
How about the worst advice that you've ever heard on leading people?
Oh, don't look into that too closely. It's best just to let that go. Kind of ignore that. It may in fact go away. They
Did
never
it?
go away, Joe.
Yeah,
They
did
they
it?
come back bigger and
Did
uglier.
it? Okay, contrary, best advice. You've adopted it in
Be yourself. Be
in
yourself. Focus on the students. Leave your ego at the door. Kind of variations of that. It's not about you. Are all good advice.
how about an unpopular opinion that you are really eager to defend?
Yeah, depending on the audience, I'm more or less eager, but I think our current understanding in higher ed of traditional shared governance is broken, doesn't work, hinders effective administration of the institution, and ultimately hurts students.
I think there's a loud applause out there that I'm hearing. Somebody actually is just saying it. Somebody okay, less, less controversial, In and Out or Raising Cane's?
Oh, no question. In and out. Now, I love Raising Cane's, but in and out. Oh, a double double.
Come
My
on.
my my chest hurts already just thinking about it, but I want one.
I stole this from Adam Grant, but something that you've changed your mind about recently.
Well, one thing I would never change my mind about is the Chicago White Sox are a superior team to the Cubs, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
That was the
One thing I would
unpopular
change my
opinion
mind about,
question.
well, I think one thing has to do with the way we've organized things here. I always liked having a vice president of academic affairs and student affairs. We've combined those functions here, and it's working beautifully. And I think it eliminates that concept of we have sides of the house. I don't know what house you live in, Joe. Well, actually, I do. I see you renovating it, but it, there's no sides of the house. It's one house. I
Yep.
love the concept of a provost model combining those two areas.
Look at that. I lean in, folks. It might be worth the risk. How about a decision in this role that you'd make 10 times over again?
The dual enrollment one that I talked about earlier, that just put us into, hyper motion, 8 years ago when we allowed greater access to higher education to kids in high school who are first gen and probably never viewed themselves as going on, to community college. That set it all in motion, and, I'd do that again and again.
The standard. If you weren't running a college or running over to that university, what would you be doing?
Uh Teach Teaching history in high school, and coaching football. Absolutely love sports. May have picked up on that a little bit. Spent waste a lot of time watching sports, but I would love to coach high school football and teach history. That's what I thought I would, many
Yeah,
years ago. That's what
yeah.
I thought I'd be doing at this point in my life.
I could see that whistle around your neck.
Yeah, right.
For sure. How about a word for AWC's future?
Um, Limitless.
A question you have for me. Don't make it too
Uh,
difficult.
Yeah, so many questions, Joe. I could chat with you forever, but what are you seeing or hearing? I know you're all over the nation. You're talking to a lot of folks. What are you seeing and hearing that's going to transform higher ed that I don't know about yet? What do I need to know, to take us next level?
Yeah. I think what you've shown in modeling so many of the standards that must how we must lead our institutions, unfortunately, and I'm going to say just it sobers me up to see so many leaders trying to fix a broken system without the resolve that you are bringing to the table.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that is critical. You have to assume the position understanding that that pain is going to be a privilege. That is what I'm seeing, and it's just a handful of leaders that you see across this sector that are actually doing that and have the boards that are holding them in place.
the
Because
board
if you
helping
don't
them
have
out.
that, you cannot do your work. And I think that's the juxtaposition that we're in right now as a nation.
I Thank you. Yeah, I agree. And quit trying to work in a broken system. Replace that system.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
or go someplace else that will allow you to work on a broken system.
yeah,
But okay, we got to bring back all the goods now too. Seriously, Dr. Corr, and everybody listening, here's the lesson. The sector spent really a decade probably watching community college enrollment decline and calling it, well, it's a demographic problem, right? And we just kind of accept it. But you spent a decade in Yuma, 70% first gen,
yeah.
lots of excuses, but you made no excuses. You built a college of the community, not just for it. And you did
Right.
it without raising property taxes by a dollar, boss. Seriously. So if you're a college president or if you're somebody aspiring to take on the of that leadership, and you're watching this today, the question isn't whether your community deserves that kind of leadership. I think the question is, are you willing to lead like they do? That's where it's at. That's a lesson that I'm pulling from today's exchange. And this is one of the most secure leaders that we've ever had on the show, folks. How do they learn more about Arizona Western?
Well, get to our website, obviously, right? azwestern.edu. Jump on that website. My phone number's on there. My cell phone number's on there. Give me a call. Come by. And Joe, next time you're through Yuma, gosh darn it, stop for lunch. Some of the best potato tacos anywhere in the world. Don't just drive on through to San Diego, okay?
Fantastic. Hey, it's a great day to be a matador, isn't it?
It's a great day.
Boom.
So
That's the
much fun,
show,
Joe.
folks.
Thank you, my man.
That's the show. Thank you so much for joining us today. Peace, friends, and stay as healthy as this amazing human being.